Yeah, but I think my biggest brush with fame,
Mm-hmm.
um, actually my two biggest brushes with fame, one was James O'Barr
Mm-hmm.
being at a friend's party and having a friend going like, "Hey man, you like The Crow?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
good comic and a good movie, man. That was fucking
Yeah.
amazing."
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you know he's here, right?" And I'm like, "What? James O'Barr?" They're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's right outside." And I'm like, "He is?" Bullshit. And they're like, "No, I'm serious. He's there." Well, how do I find him? I was like, find the whole group of fucking young comic book artists that are like fucking standing around him. How else do you think you're gonna find him? And I'm like, okay. So I go outside. I'll never forget this. I'll go outside, and there are all these guys talking about Iron Man and fucking one dude, and he just looks like the biggest fucking hick. He's got like a fucking like baseball cap. He's wiry as fuck, and it's one of
Mm-hmm.
those like he's got one of those. You're like, no, 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 no. That man does not have blood. There is pure meth in his veins,
Mm.
you know. And he's just sitting there, and he is annoyed, and he looks like he wants something, but he doesn't have it, and he doesn't feel like he has the right to ask for it. So it's like, they're talking about Iron Man, whatever has happened in Iron Man. All of a sudden, he just goes, "You're fucking looking for Shakespeare on a cereal box, boys. What the fuck do you want?" Fucking, fucking Iron Man. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what Marvel is doing? Who gives a shit about Batman? You fucking still on that crap? What the fuck? Hey, Anthony, where's my fucking sketchbook? And we're like, I'm like, oh my god, is that him? And the sketchbook comes down, he opens it, and he's flipping through it. I'm like gawking, right? What's in
Damn.
this man's sketchbook? That gonna tell me whether this is James O'Barr. It's James O'Barr. It's him. And he starts like fucking drawing and painting what the fuck ever in his fucking sketchbook. People are like, "Whoa, don't you? What do you think about these new superhero movies?" Like, I ain't making any money off of it. Oh my god, who cares? Robert Downey Jr., fuck him. You know, like, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I don't agree with what he is saying, but I am utterly, utterly, utterly entranced.
Mm-hmm.
I am hanging on every word because while I don't agree, I agree. Because to me, I like superhero stories, but there's a point at which you gotta let them go and just be like, all right, you know what? This ain't gonna do in this situation. This ain't about superhero. Superhero story ain't gonna tell you about sweet love. For example, you know, to take a very common example, you know, it's like, how am I gonna meet, you know, the woman I love? What superhero do you know is so cool that he can meet a chick? I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. There ain't there ain't there's only one female character that I know of who will spread for a fucking superhero character. And that is Black Cat, and it's Spider-Man specific. Does he ever shack up with the Black Cat? No, not really.
Nope.
So you can't get good
Mm.
love and advice from superhero comics. It ain't gonna happen.
No.
That's just not what they do. It's not what they talk about. You know, you might be able to learn how to be a really good Boy Scout, which is not
Yeah.
valueless. It's got value,
True.
but that ain't the sweet love and advice.
Mm.
So my god damn it, you and your moaning. That is unfair. That is unfair.
That was just me, him, and Han, but all right.
Hemming and hawing.
Hemming and hawing. That ain't fair. That ain't no fair.
Bless your heart. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, honey,
So,
bless your heart.
Oh, God
Mhm.
love you.
yeah. But yeah. So yeah, it's fucking James O'Barr, and I didn't know what to fucking do. And I'm sitting there, and everyone's doesn't know what to do. They've had their Iron Man discussion. They eventually peter out, and then James is just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I gotta ask you, man. And he's like, oh, what? We all know the rumor that The Crow was written because of something that happened to you. Is that true? And if so, what the fuck is it?
Mhm.
And he's like, well, here's the thing you gotta understand. I was in love. And I was in love like I'd never been in love before. She dies in a car accident. Most random goddamn thing in the world.
Mm.
Wasn't her fault. She didn't do it. She didn't deserve it. But now she's dead. And I realized, for the first time in my life, I wanted to murder somebody. And I was okay with that.
Mhm.
I was okay with finding whoever had caused this car accident, stalking, and killing him. That seemed like a bad thing. So I decided that instead of following that, I joined the military, because if I'm going to kill people, might as well be useful. And while I was there, I talked to psychologists, because they were like, yo, O'Barr, what's your fucking problem? And I'd be like, ain't got no fucking problem. But, of course I had a fucking problem. Got me in the psych. And he was like, what do you want to do, O'Barr? What do you want to do, James? What's it going to be? Well, I wasn't sure. But I finished training, and over the course of the next 6 years, I drew a comic. And my therapist said I should keep going. So I did. And I finished it. So I found a publisher.
Damn.
And that's it. There's really not much more to tell about that work. That's it. That's the entirety of it. It's all in there. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. Yep, that's it. And he also gave me another piece of advice I always really took to heart, because early the next morning, because this is a party that just kind of went in, people just fucking passed out on the ground.
Right.
I woke up early because when it's a party, I don't like going to sleep.
Mhm.
So, fucking 5 a.m., I wake up.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Yogi knows. He's got firsthand experience. I'm like, was it 8 o'clock? Okay. 8 o'clock in the morning? Okay. Like,
dude, that fucking hike to goddamn Starbucks. Goddamn. I think no, that it's an amazing thing, because it was at that moment that I turned to Jack's brother and I'm like, hey man, you ever notice that like the Starbucks siren is like spreading her pussy for you, so you walk
Yeah.
right into it?
Yep.
And his brother looked at it and went, huh?
hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit? Yeah. Yeah. So so I'm up in the morning, and there's James O'Barr, and the first thing he says to me, actually, because we had been painting all of us had been painting all night, and he goes, I thought you were gonna fuck up that fucking picture, but no, it turned out okay. You know? And I was like, oh, thanks, man. That means a lot coming from me. And he's like, you like the heavier chicks, right? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. He's like, all right, just asking. And
Oh, thanks.
yeah. Well, they've got the boobs. Yes. Some people were like, I remember being in high school and people were like, more than handfuls of waist. I'm like, a handful? I'm just getting started. You know, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, oh no,
Make this
tits too
magic
big.
trick
Yeah, I know.
makes your dick disappear.
I know. I know. You know, you want your manhood is going to disappear in that thing, and it should. No matter its size. Like, you could have the biggest dick in the world. You want the girl who's going to just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't see it anymore. You know, like,
Poof.
poof, it's gone. Magic. So I'm talking to him, and he's working on a picture, and I'm like, what's this? He starts telling me, and some of his sketches are of, like, old girlfriends. And we're talking about the nature of, like, getting married, getting divorced, having other girlfriends, you know, like, blah, 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 the whole thing. And I've never been divorced, but, you know, I had already been married for several years, you know, and I told him that. I'm like, I don't know what it's like to get divorced. I've been married for several years. I'm not likely to end that anytime soon.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me tell you something real important. The one you want is always the one you can't have. Don't forget that. Because you could give up something that you really care about and that you really love, chasing after the one you can't have. Now,
Yeah.
when the author of The Crow tells you this, that's got a gravitas to it. You know, and so I always remember that. And to be honest, I think it has done me well. You know, I think it has done me really well because, you know, at the end of the day, like, that is one of the things that has taught me the difference between, how to put it, you can be attracted to someone, still flirt with them,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the understanding that, like, well, unless something really goes sideways in somebody's life, that's pretty much where it's at. But it's enough to give you the ego boost. I don't know if that's I don't know if anybody gets what I'm driving at there.
No, I totally understand. There's nothing wrong with having an ego boost from being hit on or flirting with an attractive person.
You know, I mean, how to put it? I get what you're saying. It's just not the way I go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess in my relationships, to me, it's just a one step further thing where, like, I'm always in an open relationship. It's like, oh, you find her attractive? Go fuck her. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. You know, let me know how it goes. You know?
That used to be the case for me, you know, and it's weird because, like, I don't know what happened, you know, but there did get to be a point in my life when I
and are always in awe of an image of grandfather.
Well, how to put it?
Now I'm a grandfather.
The woman in my life and how she felt became more important than what my dick said.
Oh, well, yeah, it should totally be that way. Period.
And that's real love, kids.
Yeah. But I guess the thing is, in my relationship, and it, you know, everybody's relationship is different. Like, I'm not poly, but I'm open. You know what I mean? Like, sex to me is not the same thing as an emotional connection. But at the same thing, emotional connection with somebody else is not okay.
I mean, we think that God is spirit.
But it's different for everybody.
I understand all of those separations, but it's always really hard. I know for me, it is one of those, if I myself don't acknowledge what the boundaries are, I don't know where I am in that world. But with that said, I've always had a good grasp of it. At least I think I have. You know, which may mean I'm complete dog shit at it, but I don't know.
So it's different for everybody.
Yeah. like it's how to put it. There is something about
very undefinable and
when
all that kind of
the
thing.
person you're when the person you're with, when that
The
person's
images of God are
happiness
far
becomes
more,
more important than the
have a far
happiness
more
of
powerful
your
effect
dick.
upon our emotions
Yeah.
than our
That's
ideas.
important. Like that's a big deal.
And
I
when
mean, and that's how any true relationship should be, in my opinion. But I think the differences for me is that I distinguish between, you know, my boyfriend and I have been together for 3.5 years. My ex-husband and I were together for 10 years. And to me, it wasn't like,
and so we should think first of all,
oh, you know, I'm worried about what your dick wants. Because to me, what your dick wants and what your heart wants are two completely different things. Like, I get it. I love sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I love fucking. And I love going down on women. And I love blowing guys. And these are all of my favorite things. As the song goes. And
Julie
you know,
Andrews could not have said it better.
Julie Andrews would eat your heart out.
Wait. Few of my favorite things. That's not Julie Andrews.
Oh, that's
Oh wait, that's fuck.
short hair.
Oh fuck.
Come on, you're gay. Come on.
No.
Yogi.
God damn it. You're the
It's
worst
3
gay guy
in the
ever.
morning. Fuck you.
Oh, actually, wait, what? Hold on. Oh,
Wait, what do
never
you mean?
mind. I was wrong. Apparently, there is a version of it.
It is
done
Julie
by
Andrews.
Julie
Fuck
Andrews.
off.
Here's
back.
what I.
Um,
Here's what I was confusing
Why?
it with.
Why did you do that, my poor little gay brain? Why would you do that to me?
I got it confused with
You
beautiful
caused-
things.
You caused
no,
an error.
No. Not beautiful things.
Yeah.
Favorite
But
things.
here's-
Julie Andrews, yes.
Yeah. Because I gotta tell you. I've said this before. I will say it again. Beautiful things
It's creepy.
is creepy as fuck.
It is.
Truth.
You know, like I don't care. Like the Countess keeps fucking being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What do you mean, like, you know, beautiful things from fucking Dr. Doolittle is fucking creepy?" I'm like, no, it's creepy.
What you mean is like, the world is full of beautiful things, poor little things, puppets on
It's on
strings.
It's depressing as shit.
It's fucking creepy. I always. It's a song that I always felt like a boogeyman would sing. You know. You know, Jesus. You know, the world is full of beautiful things. Fairy tale kings, puppets on strings, and each new day inevitably brings.
Can I tell you? Hold up. I gotta tell you, Jack, I wanted you to know this.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard of your channel until I was watching Some Jerk with a Camera.
Oh, Tony, yeah.
So Tony Goldmark and his whole Haunted Mansion thing. And I saw you and Horror Guru on that. I was like, who are these two fuckers? They are hilarious. And
oh, yay.
That is how, and I was like, okay, he's obsessed with everything that is totally in my aesthetic. And he's also a pretty decent singer. I was like, I gotta check this dude's reviews out.
Thank you.
And
Jesus,
It's that's also
voice.
That's also how we.
Cool, baby.
That's also how we figured out Jack really wanted that chair. He
really wants that chair too. I get it. I get it.
What was it? I want. Oh God, what was the first one?
I want that chair. I want.
Yeah, I want that blank. I want that chair. I want that candelabra right
there.
Give it to me. Ship it to my
haunted
mansion.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's fucking hilarious.
That was, oh God. so many. The funny thing is that there was definitely like a level of separation between the way me and Guru were used to working and what Tony was used to doing for his sound quality, and like
Oh boy.
it could not be more different. You know, like for us, we had a hard limit working before we worked with Tony. We had a hard limit of like 5 takes.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, if we didn't get it in 5 takes, we just didn't get it. After working with Tony, we decided to reduce it to 3. 3 takes unless we got a feeling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Tony is take after take after take after take after take after take after take
Wow.
after take after take. And this sometimes leads to confrontations on set, shall we say?
Ooh.
See, that's
That's unfortunate.
that's one of those things, man, where like people, you can have like 2 people who otherwise perfectly amicable, get along in their own right, amazing human beings,
I believe last.
work together.
Yeah.
And sometimes there can
I
just be
got that
such a
feeling.
difference. There can be such a difference in work styles, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a thing that happens.
It is, and it's one of those things where in order to be able to work with somebody, you have to be able to compromise.
Yeah.
And this is really, you have to be able to, but a good collaboration also allows you to push the other person. You know?
Truth.
But it's really, really rough to find that balance. You know?
Though, can I say another bit where he was involved in part of that bit that I love is Melanie left me. Don't you cry. That melon is a whore.
Oh, Razorvine?
Yeah, and then I remember then then the person who the melon ends up with at the end is Tony.
Oh my god, that whole thing. Like, we were trying to figure out a through line for that fucking video.
That melon's a whore.
And I couldn't figure out
what
I couldn't figure out what to do, and then fucking like Horger was just like, all I got is Count Jackula fucks a melon. And I was like,
Oh,
boom,
great.
I know how this ends now.
No.
Oh, so good.
Oh my god. Fucking-
Yeah, y'all were fucking hysterical. Like I seriously like 3 days solid just cracking up just thinking about it. So I just wanted you to know, like, this was like months ago, but that's why I wound up finding all your videos, and I was like, oh dude, this dude's fucking hysterical.
Oh, thank you.
And you and Horger were just fucking like hilarious. But yeah, seeing y'all in that, and no.
Fucking, oh my god, like we just got done filming like the next Blood Splattered Cinema, you know, for Horger, and everyone's like, when's your next video coming out? And I'm like, look, it's happening. Okay. I had a lot of pain that I had to get over in order to fucking do videos again, because like utter betrayal will do that.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, sometime soon. It will happen sometime soon. And
Speaking of which, we need to do our thing for Evermentari.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that actually. Yeah, I really want to do that, because that is, I take it you enjoyed the film.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I was just like,
good.
I was like, this man says, "Fuck you, Satan! I got a bell."
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, oh my god, Elementary. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Treat yourself. It's a movie that has a lot to do with like medieval fairy tales. You know,
it's oh god, and I love that it's actually like it's filmed in Basque. Like they're all speaking Basque.
Yeah, they're all speaking Basque. You know,
I love it.
It's kind of amazing. You know, it's wonderful. Actually, all right, I want to ask this, Kyra. Favorite movie?
Yes. Favorite movie ever?
Well, of the horror genre.
Gore Gore Girls.
Really?
Yes. I find it fucking hysterical, and I like Herschel Gordon Lewis, and it's like a weird fourth wall breaking, obscene, ridiculous, over the top gore and tits.
True. The moment I lost it in the Go Go Girls, where I was like, okay, I forget it. Any criticism I had of this movie just went out the window because we just cut off a black woman's nipple and it sprayed chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk out of one nipple.
Out of one nipple. Yeah.
And then regular milk. Yeah, actually, for the longest time, whenever I would go out on dates with guys, I would make them watch that movie. That was like our first date.
Really?
Yes. And depending on their reaction to the movie was if I went out on another date with them or not.
That's amazing.
I would, well, like, okay, so how many guys failed the test?
Like 4, for sure.
How did they fail?
One was like basically just the entire time going, ew, gross, ew, this is horrible. Oh my god, where are we watching this? Can we change it? I don't want to watch this anymore. And then,
oh my god,
yeah, and I was just like, oh, you're a huge pussy. This is not gonna work.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No matter how big your dick is, it doesn't make up for the lack of dick you've just had.
Let me tell you, size honestly is only important up to a few inches. After that, at least for a girl.
Okay.
After that, it's just not so much. Anyway,
so
whole nother topic.
What's optimal? I'm asking for my own ego.
Okay. After about 6, it's really up to thickness to me. But that's my personal biology.
I can accept that answer and not take a serious blow to my self-esteem.
That is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. After that, it's up to, I mean, really, it's up to every individual woman's biology, to be honest. So.
Got it.
So, but yeah, no, the first one, I was like, no, okay, if you're going to be a huge pussy, you can't even make it through the movie. Why are we even doing this? And then going back the whole fucking alt-right anti-Semitic thing, one of them I played that and he was like, oh, this is funny, blah blah blah. And then after that I played what is it, Blood Feast, or fucking the other Herschel Gordon Lewis movie.
There is one called, I'm pretty sure the other one is called
Blood Feast.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one with the magician, right?
Yes. So I played that one. He was like, oh yeah, well, he's got the huge eyebrows because he's Jewish, and Jewish people are always the bad guys. And I was like,
what?
No.
What?
Next.
No,
oh
no,
my
thank you.
god.
Yeah.
Like, that is not something you expect to be revealed in the course of
a Herschel Gordon Lewis
movie.
No, not what I was going for.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of an Egyptian feast? But thanks for Herschel Gordon Lewis revealing Nazis. Excellent.
Well,
good job, bro.
Fucking Uncle Herschel is fucking doing you a solid, making sure that,
man,
like,
he does me so many solids. Seriously.
Yeah. I even don't mind that remake, that first remake of 2000 Maniacs.
Yes, I know. I really want to see. Man, I really wish the horror industry was starting to get into like the ridiculousness of some of the horror movies. I would be so into that.
I gotta ask though, like, the inheritor of that, in my opinion, really is the Green Inferno. Have you seen the Green Inferno?
I have not seen the Green Inferno.
Watch the Green Inferno.
Okay. All right.
No.
a lot of
eating
people are like,
has never been so funny.
oh my God,
Okay.
yeah, people eating people has never been more hilarious. Like, this is a movie where everyone fucking went, oh,
Not
this...
even in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, not even in Return of the...
No.
No.
Not even.
Holy fucking crap. You know...
I hate to say it, but Green Inferno blows the Tar Man away. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, let me put it this way. There's a... Look, all I'll say is that at some point, weed's involved.
Okay.
I'll say no more. But the thing about the Green Inferno is everyone saw the connection with Cannibal Holocaust, but I don't think enough people noticed the connection between it and Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm adding this to my list right now. Then.
Yeah. Because even though it's got like, it's got top-notch effects, unlike a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. You know,
Yeah,
it's got really good effects, but it's still got the of Herschel Gordon Lewis. Much more than fucking like Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust is like, oh my God. Like, it's just pure horror. But this is Eli Roth
fucked up shit.
Eli Roth joint is going to have some of that comedy in it. And he goes the Herschel Gordon Lewis route with it.
Oh, excellent.
It's so good. It's such a good movie. Like, I saw that thing opening day in the theater, did not regret it.
Actually, Jack, I meant to ask you, so should I see Velvet Buzzsaw?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see Velvet Buzzsaw. Like, you ever dealt with artsy-fartsy people?
I went to art school.
Watch Velvet Buzzsaw. Everyone you hate gets killed.
Yay.
Yes. Yes. It's
I don't know how else to express that.
No. Like we said in our blog, it is a Tales from the Crypt episode where it's the fucking art snob world that is on the chopping block.
That was I literally didn't watch anything past that. Because literally here's what I mean. Like, when in your vlog you got to the point of like making the whole joke of like, it would totally work if you just saw the Crypt Keeper there going like, hello boys and ghouls, I'm out of the museum, I'm taking in this new Vincent van Gogh. The minute you guys said that would actually fit into the film, I just went, no.
God, yes.
I'm done. I'm sold. I can.
Yeah. All you need is the Crypt Keeper beak introducing the movie to you in the beginning, and then fucking it fading to black and then fading back, and there's a Crypt Keeper again. He's like, oh, well, it looks like a poor little, but no, perfect, fucking perfect. It ends like a fucking Tales from the Crypt story. It's amazing. I love it. A lot of people hated it, but I don't think that they got that it was a fucking black comedy. That it was a Grand Guignol. But it doesn't, the blood really doesn't get flowing until 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Well, I mean, like, dude, I mean, I live in a world where there are some people who don't get Fargo as a comedy.
Oh.
I'm just so no. Hey, they're far and few in between. They're far and few in between, but technically that's a thing, so I'm not surprised.
Where do you live?
Where do I live? I live in Jersey.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Why were you asking?
Nothing. Just wondering.
Oh dear.
She's like, dear. Where is this place where people do not understand Fargo? What?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
hellhole is it? Like,
Jersey hellhole, the literal hellhole. That.
How dare you? Look. The way, legitimately, the way Jersey works is that we have the assholes on the shore, we have the industrial parks up there, and we have the turnpike on the other side. The reason we do this is we surround ourselves with bullshit so we can just collectivate into the center and be left alone.
For me,
it's what we do.
Here's the thing for me. There's only one thing I will say. I have a hard time admitting this, but I feel like I must, if we're being completely honest. There is one major problem that I have with Fargo.
Okay.
It is one of the few movies in English where I went, do we got subtitles? Because I have no idea what that person just said.
There is nothing indecipherable about a North Dakota accent. I don't know what is wrong.
What
with
are you talking about? I had the hardest. The first 20 minutes was me going, I don't know what's happening. Okay, no, I get that the body was found in a wood chipper. I've got that part. But what's this dialogue? It's like, oh, it's the Coen brothers. Like, no, I know that. I mean, literally, what is it? I can't understand what's going on.
See See, dude, that's your problem. For God's sakes, never go to Newfoundland. You'll die. You
No,
won't understand
I'm not.
goddamn
I'm not.
thing.
Hey, I'm not questioning it. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're probably.
It's been a couple of months inside of fucking Quebec, and that was much easier than fucking Newfoundland.
Hey, I
have been.
Fuck Beckers.
I
Fuck
have been to places that.
Oh my god, they will literally speak French to you, even though they speak English.
No,
they're like,
no.
Oh my
you.
god.
Fucking Quebecois. No, Quebecois.
Yeah. Oh.
Quebecois. They are like the rudest fuckers on the planet. Fuck French Canada. Fuck Quebec. Fuck. You know. Fuck Montreal. Fuck Quebec City. Fuck it.
And I was talking to the bus driver in English, and he was responding to me in French because he refused to speak English.
Wow.
French motherfucker. Like, I will take my Texas boot, shove it right up your ass.
I remember I used to work in a bookstore in Washington, D.C. in Georgetown. And I was working the register, and I thought, quite mistakenly, that striking up a conversation would distract from the point that I was reloading the register. Now, it may have succeeded in the first job, but it completely failed in anything else. Because I hear these accents, and I'm like, oh, you're from Quebec. This is the wrong thing to ask. This is the wrong thing to ask.
Yeah.
Because as far as they're concerned, they're not from Quebec, they're French.
Ugh.
And
no, they're Quebecois. They're not fucking French.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I'm like,
Quebecois.
It's like, oh, it's like you just used a fucking hard K, which is not a sound that is found in native French.
Shove your fucking Quebecois right up your fucking Quebecois asshole.
Because here's the problem with this, right? Because I'm resolving the fact that the Quebecois are not French, and I say that because fucking France goes fuck Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
France does not like Quebec.
No.
And it's interesting.
They've mangled the sexiest sounding language on the planet.
Actually, you hear no, and that's where you're wrong. It's that the language has improved and become sexier.
Oh, all right.
This is where you're wrong, because so you ever notice that Quebecois Français sounds kind of like Français Cajun, but without the relaxation. Like it sounds like like Quebecois French sounds like if Cajun had like a stick up its ass. You notice that?
Yeah. Like, well, the way I put it is it sound. Well, I was about to say, like, to me, Quebecois always sounded like fucking French if you were constantly hawking a loogie.
Well, that's the thing. The reason it kind of sounds like Cajun is because they're rooted in the same. Both Cajun and Quebecois French are Acadian French.
Oh, okay, but Cajun French sounds fine. I mean, it ain't French, but it sounds fine.
No, exactly. This is the difference that moving to an entirely new region will make.
Oh.
Quebecois French to me always sounds like the same way that, like, British, like a British inflection sounds Australian, or like you know, like the difference between like a British accent and Australian accent, to me is the same way between like a Quebecois and like a French accent. It's the same, like almost.
Dude, my boyfriend's Australian. Those are fighting words.
No, cool. Like
I'm kidding. I'm just fucking around.
but it's not like a dig on Australia. It's more of a dig on Quebecois because it's like to me it sounds much more like.
It sounds not French. It's like a distinct thing where it's like it's not.
Yeah, to me it sounds like the difference between Italian and Brooklyn.
Yeah, like one's the poorer, shittier cousin of the other.
Yeah. You know, you kind of, it's like, hey, you know, what are you talking about? Get out of the way, you know, like, hey, Abanuccio, you know, or whatever. But like actual Italian is actually much more jubilant, you know, which is weird because they have the nastiest swear words ever.
They do.
Like, it took me a long time to realize that this one guy was telling another guy that to lick a dead frog's cunt. And there's just something about that. There's just something about that where I'm like, looking at, and this is the etymology of that. I'm like, ew.
That's uniquely.
That's uniquely disgusting.
That's fair.
You know,
yeah.
like, it's so odd. Anyway, I'm sorry, Kyra. I think we were talking over you because we were being horrible males.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
I think it might
Oh
have dropped.
shit! I think we lost her. Oh no! Oh no!
I imagine we'll get her back in a moment.
Yeah. I'm trying.
There she is.
There she is. There we go. We've got two Kyras in. Well, the stream can't tell, but like we got two Kyras up right now. Yep.
This one's me.
Yes. Okay. Great. The computer has now.
The one that's moving is the real me.
Yeah. Sorry about.
It's okay. Oh shit! The audio has just gone off. Oh wait.
Oh, there it is.
Speak again. There we go. Okay. Are those little cat ear like headphones, by the way?
Yeah.
Aw.
Like caught up.
Do they move or are they just on there?
They do a thing. Hold on.
Uh-oh, it's gonna be
Hold
adorable.
up. Ah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, they light up. And I'm sitting here wearing regular headphones like a sucker. Oh my god.
Hey, at least simplicity is part of my aesthetic. I don't.
Well, one of the actually something I wanted to touch back on, Kyra, if you're okay, is the connection between sex work and psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Like I meant what I said like hours ago in the idea that like no, the reason we don't like having sex involved with things is because it's easier to wind people up, keep people wound up.
Yeah.
You know, because something happens. I don't know how to say it. Something happens when you find someone who engages in your sexual fetish.
Well, I mean, just.
Oh shit! We lost some of the audio again.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, we got it back. I don't know what's happening, but
some sort of technological.
That actually just might be Google Hangouts because sometimes it doesn't happen often, but every so often there'll be like segments of audio that get cut out. At least for us, anyway.
Stop it. Okay. I mean, like, I'm a woman. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. That's like America's worst nightmare. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
weird. It is, and it goes. The funny thing is, it goes back way farther than that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I was actually about to say like, well, but I was actually about to say, but Jack, Kyra, if you let sexuality and femininity run free, then then Sparta shall fall.
Pretty much.
I know, right? Like the
It was
fuck?
like you were talking about with that movie. This movie's not yet rated.
Mm-hmm.
Where they talk.
I love that.
I love that movie. Where they talk about basically like you can have a man rape a woman in a movie and still get an R rating. But the second you show a longer than half a second clip of a woman enjoying sex, X. It's an X rating.
NC-17 minimum.
Yeah, exactly. Varen, burn the witch.
Minimum. Yeah.
You know, it's just.
And it's weird that is even on the fucking scale.
Yeah.
You know, you would think that a female orgasm would be no worse than a dude busting a nut. You would think that it wouldn't be.
I remember I was in my first semester of college, and the sociology professor was like, well, actually, you know, a woman's orgasm is really superfluous, and it doesn't really add anything to sexuality, and it doesn't add anything to the reproductive system. Blah 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 blah.
Bullshit.
Wow.
And I was just like,
You had an awful sociology professor.
I was like, you're single for a reason, my friend.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sorry. Like, here's the thing. It absolutely adds something to the reproductive system. It's just
Sure
not
does.
something a lot of guys like. And it's this, which is once a woman has let a man come inside of her, the basic idea is, well, I can't get more pregnant. Come and get it.
Well, and the other thing is that actually when a woman orgasms, the contractions move towards the pelvic floor, which is the reservoir for semen. So it actually
Really?
increases. It
I
actually
didn't know that.
increases the rate of pregnancy.
So potentially as a woman, the more you enjoy sex, the better chance you have of becoming pregnant.
Truth.
Huh.
But unfortunately, we're not taught any sort of actual, like you were talking about earlier, we're not taught any sort of actual like truth about reproduction, sexual education, any of that. I mean, Jesus, I used to teach a thing about just like a short little 30-minute thing about like different types of lubricant, when you should and shouldn't use it, this with this, that toy, this condom, blah, blah, blah. And people would be like, oh, I had never known that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's tip number one, never use self-heating lube with a partner. It's a bad
don't use
idea.
numbing gel inside of it. And if you're doing an anal scene, don't use fucking latex lube with a latex condom or latex toy. You know, basics.
Do they even make that shit anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do.
Not a lot of people use it, but
yeah, I mean, I mean, the last time I've actually seen like an oil-based lubricant for sale was, I think, the early 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like
no, I stand by silicone.
Silicone's okay. Hybrids are usually the preferred method.
Yeah,
nowadays.
no. I mean,
I'm an Astroglide man, so whatever that is. At this
pretty
point.
good. Water based.
That's water based. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I have with that is that I got man hands, and what that means,
same. Big old man hands.
Yeah, I got big old man hands, and I grab the thing, I squeeze it, and I don't know why, but for some reason, I always squeeze that shit like it's shaving cream in a fucking commercial. And so I'm just sitting there going, now, getting that, so I've got enough.
Yeah.
And so I got that covered. But then,
Jack, rule number 1, you can never have too much lube.
yes. But once you're done greasing everything up,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, all right, time to do my second favorite thing with this hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, how to put it, there's definitely a moment where there's like, why is my tit wet? And I'm like, can you pretend it's massage oil? And they're like, except it's cold. Jack, I've made my choice. You know, like that's
Look.
the only problem I have, where it's like, oh God, now it's on my hand. How do I get this off?
Let me tell you, I always do this with all of my subs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 rules. As soon as you enter bedroom or whatever we're using as the bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
you are not allowed 2 things. Your morals and your self-respect. Those leave at my door.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want you telling me, oh, well, I don't do this because it's socially wrong. Like, yeah, that's great. Whatever. Bend over, fucker. We're not, like, I don't want to fucking hear it from you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and if you continue to talk, then I've got things that can fix that too. So, like, I just, like, shut up. Are you enjoying yourself? Does it feel good? Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
So, but that's my personal thing, is like, I don't want to hear you complain or tell me about how it's wrong. That's great. Whatever.
Right. Although I do have to ask, was there actually a connection between that and Edward Lube Hands? Because if there's not, that's cool. I just want to know.
I mean, yes.
Sure, if you want, sure.
I've definitely had a lot of I've definitely heard before, like, where they're like, oh, everything is slippery, even like my ass, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, like,
would you prefer it be dry? Like, what
I don't know.
you...
Well, here's the weird thing. Like, for me, it's not about any of that. Like, if I was to put, you know, that's probably actually how I'm doing it wrong, which is, now I think about it, because usually by the time the lube comes out, hand duty, you know, has already happened.
Yeah.
You know, because that to me is foreplay. It's part
Truth.
of foreplay. And I don't think about putting, you don't think about putting your lube on your hand for foreplay. So maybe that's actually part of the problem. Maybe
maybe it's a little you know, head on. You apply it directly to the dick.
Before.
Generally.
Well, the only problem I got
For
with
me,
that is that
not like go hand and then dick, like, unless I'm going for like some stroking action first.
Yeah, entirely possible. Like, well, it's weird because, like, I find myself going like, yeah, but if I do that because I use Astroglide, like, then it just drips on the bed, and then there's a wet spot before there's a wet spot.
So that's the thing, is you use Astroglide, it's a water base. Water base is very spready, I guess.
It is.
If you do a hybrid, it's a little bit more together.
Okay.
I would look for a hybrid.
And does the hybrid? Okay, this is gonna be this question
Go
about
for it.
hybrids. Does the hybrid smell?
Smell?
Yeah.
No, not from my experience.
Okay, so
I use a coconut base hybrid.
Oh, okay. Well, smelling like coconut, not that bad.
Yeah, so it's got like a little bit of ode to coconut, but it's got to, like, see, because the problem between my my boyfriend and I was that we were using water base, it doesn't last long enough, because like he can go for a couple hours before we really are getting towards like him coming towards the end.
Okay. This your husband or
boyfriend?
Boyfriend. Okay, great.
So like we need something that has a little bit more staying power. So we wind up using a hybrid because we don't use like straight up latex because we're using toys and condoms and things like that, right?
Right.
Because he likes prostate stimulation. I like doing prostate stimulation. It's one of my favorite things. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
like
interesting. It's interesting. That's one of your favorite things, despite the fact that you don't have. What is it about the prostate stimulation that I have to ask? Because that's not something that there's an absolute there's a reciprocal physical thing going on there.
it doesn't matter. You're enjoying it. Like he thoroughly enjoys it, as well he should. As a guy, like I'm hitting the G spot. That's like the spot. Prostate stimulation is fantastic. Like I have so much more control over his orgasm. I have so much more control over his stimulation. I can, I can pull it out. I can do edging. I can do things like that.
I keep forgetting, like I've had this explained to me a million times. I keep forgetting it, which is the prostate is not analogous to is analogous to the G spot somewhat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like I don't know why I keep forgetting that.
That's why, unlike when they do transsexual surgery, they will take the prostate and actually move it to where in females the G spot is when they create the vaginal canal.
Yeah. Now, question about the G spot, like because this is something that I have heard, but I'm not sure how true it is. I'm told that not all women have them.
It's not that not all women have one, it's that not all women are sensitive to it. It's just like not all women can come vaginally.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it is. Is like
that's
some
the difference
women
between
can
vaginal stimulation and clitoral stimulation.
Yes, yeah. So like some women can come vaginally because of their G spot generally, or if they have a really sensitive clitoris and you're just wind up kind of hitting that nerve around that area. But for the most part, actually the majority of women in society cannot come vaginally. So G-spot is kind of like, it's like a nice added bonus, but a lot of women actually can't come that way.
How you mentioned society, so that implies that it has something to do with the way women are brought up.
Yeah, because women are brought up. I mean, Jesus, have you ever watched porn? Every single woman gets off just because a guy is going.
Oh well, yeah, but
and that's not how it works.
Yeah, I was about to say, even as a kid, I assumed that was bullshit.
Well, you're ahead of the curve. Because most guys think that they're like, I put the dick into the hole.
Yeah.
You like how this feels. And a lot of women are sitting there going, yeah, that's where my tampon goes too, baby.
Great. Yeah, well, yeah, like, because I was always like, okay, so there are two things I really. First of all, for the longest, I will say this: when I was young, for the longest time, I didn't realize that the clitoris and the G-spot were two separate things. That took a while to figure out, and because that's not something that they fucking educate you on. They tell you what the clitoris is, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to remember the clitoris is the doorbell that opens. Anyway,
it's the doorbell that opens the sometimes when you just age, the stamen starts to crave the lovely touch of the yoni.
Ringing Satan's doorbell.
Yeah, ringing Satan's doorbell. Yeah, actually,
exactly.
I always got. There was one euphemism for tits that always pissed me off. Now, this is just a personal thing.
Okay.
I can live with tits. I can live with boobs. I can live with udders. Melons is fine. The minute you say dirty pillows, it's like, really? Dirty pillows.
That's such a British thing.
I know. It's so.
I only think of Carrie. That's the only thing I can ever think of.
You're lucky. You're lucky. You haven't had that line used on you.
Nope.
Yeah. I grew up in a Catholic school.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby.
Oh my God. Like,
It's full of bullshit.
oh, it's full of bullshit. And I learned a couple of like horrible things in Catholic school that I don't think you're supposed to learn, but I learned them anyway because I'm an asshole like that. One, oh, I get it.
I learned that the staff bathroom is the only one that locks.
I learned that whether or not a girl is still a virgin has a racial component to it.
Yep.
If she fucked a white guy, that counts. She fucks something else, that don't count.
We can let that slide.
We can let that slide because we wouldn't want that to mar your good name. And you find yourself going like, bitch, what the fuck? And this leads you to fucking being drunk at someone's funeral going like, I didn't like her, I don't like you. Fucking just fucking die. Like, why am I at this goddamn thing? I don't want to be here. I came here because that cunt guilted me into coming, and the fact of the matter is, I hated you then, I hate you now. Like, oh, you're the worst person ever. And I'm like, I give a shit, you know, like, fuck you.
I don't give a shit what you think.
Yeah, you're the one who fucking, it's like, oh, really? Well, you're the one who fucking, like, set fire to her fucking locker for kissing your boyfriend. Really?
Yeah, I get it, honey. I was raised Southern Baptist, so.
Oh. That was the first 4 years of my life.
Oh.
And then I was raised Catholic after that. It's, that's kind
sit,
of a head
stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel, stand,
Jenny
sit.
you know, all that shit.
Hey.
Jesus, calisthenics.
Hey, now you listen. You Southern Baptists with your goddamn fan waving ladies in the front row and all that bullshit and your beehive hairdos. Oh my God, hire the hair closer to Jesus. You know what? You just jealous because Catholics just grow up naturally with better thighs, legs, and asses because of all the genuflecting. We exercising all day. Fuck you.
Now I will say this though.
Oh man.
One thing I gotta thank Catholic school for.
School uniform. Catholic school uniform.
I don't know if the school uniform had anything to do with it, but it had everything to do with a fucking girl named Susanna, who was fucking in the year ahead of me. This was the woman. This was, you know, there are certain signposts for the kind of woman that you like. And for me, it was always orchestra and balcony. Holy crap. There were many girls that I wanted to go out with. This girl was the first one that I was like, that I had met personally, where I was like, oh my God, I want to fuck that. I want to stick my penis inside of that. And I want it to keep happening. I don't want it to stop till it's done. You know, like, and this is like, how to put it, like, I totally had that Frollo moment where I'm
oh
afraid.
God, no.
Yeah, I did. But instead of like getting to that point of like, oh, why must I be so weak? I just sort of like, you know, it just kind of fucked up. Look, I'm just gonna chase this girl. I'm sorry. You're just gonna, whatever you're gonna do, God. But I have free will. Fuck you. Holy crap. I want
fuck you.
I have free will. Fuck you. Oh my God. I want to ride that girl while holding her front in my hands. Holy fucking crap. You know, and I want her to be having an amazing time while it happens. Now, this never occurs. But this definitely was like a step towards Satan, because this point at which you just sort of like, God, you people pick on me 24/7. even though I pray to you, even though I go to fucking church, I'm coming to the conclusion that I need to give the other guy his day in court. Because you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, for real? You know, and this is even before, like, you know, whether or not I'm screwing this girl or not. You know, just the treatment I got at that fucking place was one of those, fuck you. Like, these are God's chosen people. Fuck that. You know, these people can burn on a fucking stake. These guys are assholes. Like, Jewish people are barely human beings to these people. You know, they only agree. They only allow black people around them and Jewish people around them because that goddamn government says they have to. Holy I'm sitting there like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Like, these are the people that fucking complain. These are the people that complain about quotas. You know, and find every reason. They always find like some retarded reason every fucking time to stay as racist and misogynistic as they were to begin with. Every fucking excuse, including the excuse of God. They'll use Jesus as the reason if they have to. And they will. Mm-hmm. They will. There's no two ways about it. They'll do it. You know, well, Jesus said, wait, what? Jesus said it's okay to treat people like slaves? You're going to actually make that fucking argument? Yeah, they'll make that argument. They will totally make that argument. Absolutely, they will. Because I've heard it. And it's shocking. It's so shockingly, horrifically racist that you don't know what to do. Because so many people have convinced that racism is hidden. It's not. It's not. Like, this whole idea of, like, internalized racism and unchecked prejudices and all that shit. No. That's liberal crap. That's liberal guilt. You're not dealing with conservative racism. Conservative racism only doesn't say the N-word because they don't want to get fired. And that's the only reason. And that might not even work for all that long. It's fucked up. It's super fucked up. You know, like, there's nothing quite like listening to a deacon at your church. Now, this is the Baptist side of shit. Telling you why someone you know doesn't have a right to live. And you're just like, wait, excuse me, like, did you just condemn that girl for being raped? Because it's all sex to them. Willing or unwilling, you do it. Bam, done, forget it, soul, fire, pits of hell, Gehenna. What, and I found myself going like, what kind of God is that? That's beyond judgmental. Like, that's straight up unfucking fair.
It's one of those things, man, where I'm just like, how to put it? It's always weird to hear what people okay. When I tell people I'm religious, to hear what other people hear when I say that is so fucking weird to me. Does that make sense? Because
it totally does. It totally does. Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so weird to me because I'm like, well, I don't believe in a bearded sociopath in the clouds. Like these fucking people do.
Well, yeah, because what's the point of that? Like, what's the point of that? Like, not even, like, how to put it? Like, not even the gods of soldiers and warfare behaved that way. You know, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, I mean, like my God has 1,000 hands, and they're all giving me high fives. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, why no female divinity in the West?
Yeah.
That's a big question.
Jesus, have you ever tried to read Milton?
You mean
Like
Paradise
Milton,
Lost?
or-
Paradise Lost, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just like fucking misogynistic to the max, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah, how to put it? Like, Dante Alighieri ain't the only one with that virgin whore complex, tell you what.
no,
You
man,
know,
no.
Oh,
Dante's was minor compared to that.
yeah. Dante is weird. Dante was
I
a
love
weird
how-
guy.
I love though how I love how in Dante's Inferno, I love how the punishment of homosexuality is treated. I also love that he's like, you know, that's not fair. I love that for all his shortcomings. I love how Dante's like, you know what? That's bullshit, church. Okay, I'm gonna put them in there. Okay, but what do they do? You know, what's their punishment? Well, they have to walk in a line forever. Why? Well, because if they stop, it rains fire on them. But what if they don't stop? Then they're fine. They just walk forever.
Wait.
Just walk around for a bit.
Wait. Are you talking about the Inferno or Purgatory?
The Inferno.
What circle is that?
I think it's part of the 8th circle. I have it's out in the library. I can find it if I need to.
Yeah.
But
At some point, because I'm pretty sure what you're describing is actually Purgatory.
no, I swear to God, it's not. Because I remember. I remember this because there was a there was kind of like a I don't want to say stick figure puppet, but there was kind of like this puppetry, like this paper-based puppetry, modern retelling of Dante's Inferno
Okay.
as a film that's really, really good. I have the DVD like somewhere. At some point, I'm gonna make you watch it. It's really good. But you know, it's great. Like, there's like a fucking scene where he like when he goes down to like Cocytus, like he like the frozen length, like he finds like Dick Cheney down there. And he's like, wait a minute, Dick Cheney, you're not dead. And he's like, well, some of us are so evil that our souls are condemned to hell before we even die. Right now, my body is being piloted by a demon who will continue to serve the American people until my pacemaker stops.
Oh, wait. I think I've seen this.
It's fucking hilarious. But there is when he gets to the sin of the sin of homosexuality, the sin of sodomy, and he gets to that, it's the idea is that it's like a dance club where they have to dance eternally, and every time they stop dancing, like hot air, just like uncomfortably hot air, just like blasts up through floor fans, so they just have to keep dancing. And so I was like, well, because it's all like modernized versions of the punishment. So I'm like, wait, what the fuck is that based off of? So I went to the source material. It's like they kind of just walk forever, and if anytime they stop walking, it starts raining fire, so they have to keep walking.
Oh, weird.
And I'm just like, that is. I'm like, I looked at that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like 2 circles ago was worse than this shit.
Yeah.
Canto 15 and 16.
Oh, that's of the Inferno.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also always thought it was hilarious.
Obviously,
that,
I have forgotten my good book.
How to put it?
But
I
that's
also
why. Look, I'm. May I make a sexist joke if you do not mind?
Please do.
This is why we have women around. I can't remember all this shit on my own.
I also always found it
I
funny
had to look it up, to be fair.
Yeah. I always also found it funny that like the suicides, it's like, what happens when people commit suicide? They turn into trees.
Yeah.
They turn into trees. And do what? They do tree things.
They sit there.
I thought forever that was the joke that they were in joke that they were going for in Fallout. You know, the guy that's
Oh,
a
the
tree.
guy.
I was like, oh, he's gonna be. No,
my
too
brother's-
intellectual.
That was my
Needed to
brother's
back
quest.
that up. Thought I was being smart.
Oh my god. Well, no, because okay, I'll tell you what it was actually about. My brother wanted to put people in a situation where the most humane option was the least humane option. He just wanted to put that there, just be like, well, I wonder what people do. You know?
Trees.
Yeah, here's a tree, and it's like a ghoul, and he's like, oh, kill me. And then you're like, okay, kill me. And then when you kill him, he's like, oh, it burns.
Oh God, what you killed me? Yeah.
I just sit there, and I'm like, oh my god, that was so sadistic. He's
So
like,
wrong.
yeah, I wanted to make people feel bad for doing the right thing. I wanted to see if that was possible.
Oh my god.
So fucked up.
Oh no. Like that was no, when my brother came up with that one, I was like, no man, you got a career ahead of you. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know how to say it. Like we have a fixation with fixation with moral choices in humanity. And what does that mean? You know, because the exploration of quote unquote free will is one of the biggest mysteries it's one of the biggest mysteries that is going to shape humanity, because we don't really have a good answer, do we?
It's no, we don't. And the great thing about, I'll be honest with you, the concept of unraveling the mystery of free will is why I'm glad there are not more people like me. Because if there were more people like me, we wouldn't give a shit. Because I legitimately don't.
well, yeah, for me, free will is very interesting. It's
Yeah.
I don't. A lot of people wonder whether free will is a thing that exists, and I keep going like, I think Descartes fucking covered it. You know, you think, therefore you are, because in order for you to think, that there's got to be a you, even if it's just an idea.
Free will is the entire reason that I actually left Christianity.
Yeah. If you didn't have free will, could you have done that?
It's like predetermination. You're supposed to have predetermination, but also free will at the same time. And I was like, these two things do not work together. It's not.
Well, you see that's the thing. Like my
will as the fly in the ointment, but that does mean that there is a fly and there is an ointment.
Truth.
I see physical reality. I see a world that is largely, for the most part, but not entirely, deterministic. And then there are the things which have free will. And the things that have free will are the cats that knock things off the shelves just to do it. Just to be like, what'll happen if I do this? Woo! And now that it's happened, what will happen is deterministic. Free will is the ability to knock bottles off of shelves. You know, in the great cosmos, in the great cosmic sense.
Cosmic bottles.
Yeah, cosmic bottles. It's being able to piss in the holy water.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, how to put it? I don't see any possible conclusion or satisfactory answer to the problem of free will either way, regardless of what you believe or what you subscribe to as a potential theory, until we understand what the fuck consciousness is.
See, consciousness, that's another situation entirely.
Yeah. No, it is, but like, okay, example, right? Now, example, when it comes to consciousness, I subscribe to Orko R theory. I don't believe, I agree with the idea that consciousness is not a byproduct of computation. That it is, in fact, I agree with the theory that it may in fact be quantum, and it may be a field of quantum existence that is projected through material reality, and that's how it interacts with itself.
Okay.
That's the theory I subscribe to, which is the one um that's like proposed by Dr. like Hofferman and Professor Penrose, the latter of which was Stephen Hawking's PhD tutor.
Okay.
So yeah, like I when I say that, I'm not saying like, like new age quantum mumbo jumbo. I'm saying no, according to an entire group of quantum physicists. um so my thing is this, is that like, if there is free will, it's the free will of this field of consciousness to experience itself subjectively. And I like my thing is this: if consciousness is in fact this quantum field that projects itself through materiality and through existence, then that is the level at which, if there is free will, that's the level where it exists. So I don't think we're going to fucking understand it until we start to get a grip on what consciousness is.
Oh yeah, well, it's one thing to understand free will; it's another to say whether or not it exists.
Oh yeah, like that's my whole big thing, is like, is free will real or not? Personally, this, I'm a determinist, but I'm also a pragmatist, so I don't think it really fucking matters.
Well, yeah, you are of the opinion that everything is deterministic, but if that is so, then free will has to be part of the determinism.
Exactly. Like, it's one of those things where, okay, is there free will? Is there not free will? Well, either way, regardless of it, we have the experience of it, so it's real to some degree, but to what degree, I have no fucking idea. Like,
I'm just too hard-headed, I guess, to like accept predetermination. You know what I mean? I'm just like too much like, fuck you, I do what I want, you know?
and I would be the asshole who says yes, and you know what? It was predetermined that you would be that way.
Exactly. Like it's a catch-22 kind of thing. But
exactly.
At the end of the day, I'm just kind of like, the other thing is like, me as a person, I'm incredibly fucking like flighty and like I'll just do shit. You know what I mean? I'll be like, I'm gonna go get a tattoo today, or I'm gonna I'm going to Disney World. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
well, it's one of those
shit.
It's one of those weird things where there first of all, there is a difference between predictability and deterministic. But to me, more importantly, I feel like I can't believe that this is the way things had to turn out. I can agree that it is the way things did turn out.
Right.
But there are too many fucking questions that seem to have no good, solid answer. One of these is, why did Western civilization abandon female divinity? Now, one could say Christianity, but that's kind of that's not entirely true, and it's kind of a pat answer. You know, one could say misogyny, and there would definitely be an aspect of that. But then you got to explain China to me, which is full of female divinity and is an extremely misogynistic society.
Truth.
You know, so why did the West go in this direction of getting rid of... they got rid of almost all the gods, but what they really super got rid of is the idea that women could have anything to do with divine consciousness, period.
Yeah.
You know, because with the exception of the Virgin Mary, who is she?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, even with that, you know, she's relegated to the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's
like,
the woman who's never had sex but birthed the Son of God.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and she's given a huge amount of status in the Catholic Church, but in a modern context, none of it makes sense, because you're sitting there and you're going like, I don't look. I get that we're praying to the Virgin Mary, but why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who is she? And then they're all like, "Oh, read your Bible," and so you read your Bible, and you're like, "Wow, no, she just pumps out of Jesus."
Yeah.
So who is she? Oh, she cries when he dies. Well, I have no reason to think that would not be the case. So I guess, but what's going on? What is this?
It's also like, how to put it, like the entire cult of the Virgin Mary is the entire biblical justification, not the reality of it. The entire biblical justification literally hangs on one single verse, and that's when Jesus looks at his mother and then looks to his disciples and says, and then looks at his disciples and he says, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact verse, but it's uh she is not just my mother, but your mother. And the idea then becomes that, like, okay, well, that's the justification for why we say, okay, she's the mother of the world, she's the mother of the church, she's the mother
Right.
of all Christians. But but that's not the reality of why that leap was fucking made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It was made to try to. It's weird because like the concession of the Virgin Mary is basically a way for the Christians to incorporate local goddesses into the cult, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
into the Christian cult. But then once that happened, they just relegated it, and probably the final like relegation, ironically, was done by the Protestants. You know, because they're like, we don't need no Mary, it's Jesus and nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they even got rid of all the different fucking scripture that Mary Magdalene should have had written that was supposed
Well,
to.
that was gotten rid of before the Nicene Creed, so
Yeah.
like that's super old. That's like that happened thousands of years ago. It happened really early on. Which is
So fucked up.
oh, it's super fucked up because you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know, like it's one of those things where I found myself going like, hose for Jesus, come on, like that's I could see how that
No,
on the
you
other
want-
side do it.
You want fucked up? I'll give you fucked up. There are three openly gay saints in the Catholic Church. They have not had their sainthood taken away from them. They're still there, but we just like push them to the back so no one notices.
I've got an even worse one.
Go ahead.
This is you ready to be horrified?
The sad part is I probably already know it, but go
You
ahead.
might already know it, but this is something that they excavated somewhat recently, last couple of years. All right, so
Mhm.
they find this nunnery. I don't know where, but it's in France. And so they're like, "Oh, is this old nunnery? Oh, okay, yeah. We found some statements about this old convent. All right, guess what they find in the basement?
Go ahead.
A mass grave of infant skulls.
Yes, I heard
Yep.
about this. Oh my god.
Yeah. And everyone's like, "Oh, where did all the children come from?" And I'm like, "Where do you think?
Yep.
Where do you think, man? You know?" And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you think abortions are like a new thing, first of all. Second of all, third trimester abortion, baby. Yeah, you living in future times, not
Mhm.
past times. Past times, an abortion is like, well, don't need this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like
I mean, there's biblical precedent for it. I mean,
oh god,
like
yeah.
old. No, there totally is. I always love when Christians try to like argue with me about the efficacy of like not the efficacy, the moral efficacy of abortions, and I'm just like, well, okay, well, what about this thing in Leviticus where it tells how the priests of Aaron will cause a miscarriage?
Yep.
What about that? What was that?
Yeah.
That sounds like magical god abortion, but it's still an abortion.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I don't know. it's crazy to say, but like ancient civilizations, they weren't as dumb as you think they were. They're actually
Yeah, that's the whole reason for all the rules in the Old Testament.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking smart. The old societies are actually pretty fucking smart. For instance, everyone's like, "Oh my god, Columbus proved the world was round," and I'm like, "Okay, not really." Because that had been discovered literally thousands of years
beforehand.
Yeah.
Also, every cartographer by the time Columbus set sail knew this. Globes existed, and Columbus's thing wasn't that he thought, okay, Columbus's thing was he fucked up royally because he was a crazy man who had a theory of, no, the world's not round, it's pear-shaped.
Yeah.
He just fucking... And you know what he based that off of?
Nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no one else does either. He just fucking...
Nothing.
He got it in his head.
Based it off nothing. And it's insane because, like, a lot of his calculations about how long it was going to take had to do with the fact that he didn't know how decimal places worked. I mean, that sounds weird to say, but Columbus is probably the greatest example of failing upwards since, how to put it? Columbus didn't pull a Trump. Trump has pulled a Columbus. Yeah, like, it's the greatest example of failing upwards that could have possibly have fucking happened.
This is reminding me. Question: have you seen H Bomber Guy's response to flat earthers?
No, because I actually don't watch H Bomber Guy. I don't have a problem with him. I'm sorry, he's not a girl with big tits.
No, that's fine.
So there's a limited amount of interest. The farther away you get from that, the more you have to work to get my attention dollar.
No, that's fine. You have your aesthetics. I just thought you'd find it interesting because he goes into territory that even I didn't know about.
Oh,
flat Earth conspiracy theory. But also that's where that whole Sobek, fields of semen meme comes from. Is from that.
Really?
Yeah. That's from his. Because in that he does like a whole thing of he makes fun of the whole well, the ancients, they knew. He's like, yes, the ancients knew. Praise Sobek, god of semen. It becomes like a meme throughout the video where he's like, yes, you're right. We're totally just it's totally a conspiracy of globalists, and wait, hold on. Picks up phone. Wait, why are we doing this again? Sobek on the other line. Fuck it, I don't know. I thought it'd be funny.
Well, everyone knew. And I discovered something, this is one of those everyone knew, and you do not understand how well they knew.
Oh yeah,
because
it's amazing. No. You want something amazing? I'm gonna give you something amazing that even you don't know specifically, probably.
Okay.
And that's okay. So if you take the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is one of the largest it's one of the largest fucking texts in the Hindu canon. But take the Srimad Bhagavatam, and if you look through it says the earth is round. It says the earth goes around the sun. It says the moon goes around the earth, and it gives I think they're only off by maybe one or two decimal points, but accurate size measurements of the earth, the sun, and the moon.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've been looking into has been the origin of my boy Baphomet.
Yes.
Where does this image come from? What the fuck are we talking about? What was completely made up by Elias Levy and what wasn't?
Mhm.
Gorgons and shit, man.
Yeah. Turns out, correct. Kind of. But there's another weird part of it.
Oh yes.
All right. So
Tell.
you know the whole "as above, so below."
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually. It turns out that might actually be way more literal than we give it credit for. Because, and you're like, well, wait, what does this have to do with the fact that the Earth is round and people knowing this? Well, it has to do with a guy called Mithras, who was a god that was worshipped in Roman times, all across Western Europe. Super fucking popular. There are like at least two Mithraeums, which are, places where you go pray to Mithras or do whatever the Mithraean rituals are. In every civilization, like, it's a thing, and they're there. And Mithraeum are kind of small. Like they really only house like the biggest one would house like would hold up to like 100 people. As opposed to like cathedrals, which were like, oh, it's a lot of them.
Mhm.
But a Mithraeum generally would hold about a dozen people. Really big one, few dozen. And no one knew what they were about, because you'd find these places and you're like, all right, so there's kind of this like pit that's like dug, and then they put a dome over it, and then people would go in, and there are columns, and at the very far end there's like an altar with either a statue or a relief of a dude killing a bull.
And there's like seats at some point.
Yeah. And there are like seats where people sit there and do something, and they know that they were like, oh, those are the Mithraeum. Those are the where you pray to Mithras. And people are like, okay, who's Mithras? Because that ain't no Roman or Greek god I never heard of, and they're like, well, we don't know. They just have all these places. Okay, what else do we know? And they're like, everyone who prayed to Mithras was male. How do you know that? Because we have fucking attendance logs and shit. They wrote down everyone who had gone up the 7 grades of Mithras. All men. Now, that's one of those... That's weird. Like, for the time period, that is an anomaly. Because, like, what? Why would you want a fucking temple of only dudes? That's crazy. That was Roman and Greek thinking at the time. Now, bear in mind, the Greeks totally knew what gay fucking was. But, like, what are we, Spartans? This is Athens or whatever. This is Tarsus. Fucking, we ain't no. Get those Spartans. Like, get that shit out of here. Those guys are weird. And the guy saying that is fucking balls deep in a boy 10 years younger than him. He's like, oh, those Spartans. Yeah, they took it way too far. I don't even know. How you doing, Perseus? Oh, okay, you'll know when it's over. So it's super strange. Now, no one could figure out what the whole deal was until someone figured out that the imagery surrounding the Mithraeum and surrounding Mithras has to do with the equinox, the solstice, and the equator. So, it turns out, okay, here's something I bet not everyone knows today, even though it's a widely published fact. All right. The Earth's rotation wobbles.
Yes.
Now, you've got, we pull out a little stick, demonstrate for the kids at home. All right. So, here's a stick. Imagine we've got like a little ball on it, and as we turn it, that's the rotation, but that's not how it goes. it not only spins like this, it also goes like that, but only at about like 20 degrees. And that's over a period of a couple of thousand years. So, where the poles are pointed towards changes over time.
Hmm.
Even if everything in the universe stood still, which it doesn't. They discovered that for some reason, all the Mithraeum are built with the idea of where the equinox and the solstice were. They are put together so as to allude to where the north and south poles pointed in the solstice and equinox 1,000 years before Mithraism existed. Now, why that period of time? No idea.
Huh.
Yeah. But the as above, so below, which is, a big part of like Satanism and everything,
Mm-hmm.
this also comes from Mithraism.
Huh.
And they're talking about things north and south of the equator. As the above move, so does the below. Meaning they're talking about the calculation of angles.
Sacred geometry, man.
It's sacred geometry. Yeah, it's geometry. Yeah, it's cosmic geometry. And it's also why they separated things. Because they were like, well, if we create a false separation by, say, making a cave that's got a couple of holes in it and looking into the sky through specific holes, can we contemplate and calculate the axis and rotation of the Earth? And the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can, as a matter of fact. Now, the one part that is still very mysterious is why only men? Now, the fact that the Mithraeans almost exclusively recruited through the military is known. But why? For a cult that's entire fucking existence seems to be based around calculating the rotation of the Earth, why do you need military dudes for this?
Yeah, so essentially, what we're getting at is that as of now, what we know about the cult of Mithras and the Mithraeum is that okay, this is Mithras. Who the fuck is Mithras? Well, he's Perseus, but with a Persian name.
Yes,
okay,
kinda.
He's an approximation of Perseus with a Persian name. It's like, okay, well,
by way of a Zoroastrian dude, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's super weird.
It's like okay, so why are these temples built this way? Oh, so you could like observe the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they were a cult of all male mathematicians and astronomers who through their own mystery rites worshipped an approximation of Perseus with a Persian name by way of Zoroaster. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? No fucking idea.
No fucking idea. It's one of the most popular cults of its day. Like, they were around for like 400 years, and they were like riding high.
Yeah, like it was kind of like for a while, like them and Christianity were like neck and neck. Like it was.
Yeah, but another weird thing that happens is during yon Crusades and the subsequent Inquisition, something is uncovered, which is subsequently destroyed. But if you read the text, it seems like a Mithraeum that this Inquisitor is describing, and this is, of course, the Jacques de Molay and the Knights Templar and all that jazz. and that's absolutely an area. That's absolutely an area where Mithraeum were built. So it's entirely possible that the Inquisitor finds this cave, and because he
Oh my God.
destroyed everything, he didn't know he didn't know what a lion looked like. And so he describes it as a goat, and this becomes Baphomet, which, by the way, means, by some translations, the son of Mithras.
Wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me that
A
there is
fucking
a
group of military-based men worshiping something in a cave that has an animal head?
So are you telling me that the late Crusades, like that the late Crusade, like time period of like King Philip III at that point, I think you're telling me that like the Templar connection to Baphomet, which eventually leads to the sacred geometry that is found in fucking Western free and associated masonry, may in fact be connected to the fucking Mithraeum.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm
I
saying.
love it.
That's
I
what I'm
love
saying.
it.
It may in fact be connected to that, because, and now here's the other thing. Here's the thing that's interesting. Part of what this means is in the symbology of Baphomet himself. That little flame on his head, which is like, oh, it's the light of inspiration. It doesn't just represent the light of inspiration. It may literally represent the sun.
Goddamn science ruined my occultism.
Yeah. Well, it's super weird. It's super weird because, like, how to put it, Mithraism gets into this whole part of the mythology that makes you go like, wait, what the fuck is going on? You know, like, what the fuck is happening here? Why is Medusa all of a sudden a bull? You know, and shit like that. Why is this? It's one of those, like, you have thousands of years of fucking bad storytelling and mistranslation creating a god almost out of whole cloth. What?
By mistake.
Yeah, almost by mistake. And what? Like, you don't, it's weird. It's kind of like Lilith, which is, there are many legends that all contribute to her creation. But what are we really getting at? Because I've never been satisfied with the answer of like, oh, it's just a fucking, you know, because we got these two creation myths in the Bible. And I always found myself going like, I'm going to be honest about something, Rabbi. I wouldn't even have noticed that he ain't pointed it out. Because they don't actually contradict each other. They just potentially could. You could have very easily said, oh, yeah, that's just like a, you know, you could have done the Protestant thing and just said like, oh, yeah, it's just a recap for some stupid reason. Like, that's the Protestant explanation for it, you know, because there's nothing really that happens in that really truly contradicts the first part, unless you believe every word has to and must be divinely commanded. The minute you believe that, you have to account for this. And so it's one of those like, oh my fucking God, this is a problem you created for yourselves. That's not even some bullshit the ancients played on you. Like, this is a problem you created. You fucking assholes. You know, yeah.
Oh, but, hey, kind of speaking of like magical, like magical trope, I guess you could say. So one of the classes I'm taking this semester is Shakespeare, because of course I am.
Oh, okay.
Fine, you know, of course I am. I'm like, hey, I would like to get my fun, pretentious electives out of the way now, so I can enjoy the first half of this. Thank you. You know, and of course, like we're doing like Midsummer Night's Dream, which is it's a hilariously fun comedy.
Mhm.
But I never okay, so like there are certain things that you don't realize come from Shakespeare, and they've been used as tropes ever since, but a lot of things do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I I don't know why I never put it together, but like how there's like the common trope in like movie storytelling theater where like the character gets the thing that's accidentally magical and accidentally performs a magical ritual invoking like forces of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you never put that together with Midsummer Night's Dream?
Yeah, no, I was looking. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. The mechanical players, they, they're in a glen. They're right between the woods and the city.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a luminal zone,
Mm-hmm.
and they perform a play, and it gets the attention of Robin, and Dionysus is both the god of the green and of theater. Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. Yup. This is a play that is somewhat intended to almost be performed almost as a prank. Like, because the whole thing at
Like,
the end with Robin, if these shadows have offended, think of the small as mended. Like, that's in many ways a Shakespearean equivalent of "you got punked, bro."
Oh no, it is. It is.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's
Yeah.
how to put it, and I see like all the layers of that throughout the play, but that specific thing of Shakespeare kind of started the trope of the accidental magic ritual.
Yes.
That I had not realized.
Yes. Yeah. He kind of did. Like, that. I don't think that one had existed before then, because there had been the accidentally offended the gods, but I don't know if like full blown ritual had been like part of it. Like, because like Ulysses, great example. I ain't gonna fucking kill this goat. It's barbaric. Fuck you, Poseidon. Oh, what? What? You fucking punk. You fucking cross my ocean. You fucking go to war with those Troy people or whatever. What do they call themselves? Romans? Who gives a fuck? They speak Latin. They're fucking they're barbarians. They don't speak Greek. They're barbarians.
And you sacrifice not to
and
me.
You don't sacrifice goddamn goat to me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this I know this was fucking Aphrodite and Athena and Hera's fucking deal. Now you dragging me into this. Fuck you, Ulysses. I fuck you. And that's the Odyssey. Basically,
Yeah.
or as I like to call it, a boat full of dudes got no compass and get lost.
I love how like especially like later in the Odyssey, there's literally that point where he's just like yelling at the sea, and you just like hear Poseidon, "Man is nothing without the gods."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My big problem. God damn it, man! Like, I don't know if what would have become of me if I were Ulysses. Because I think by the time we got into that Circe's Island.
Oh no, it'd be done for you, bro.
Yeah, it'd be done for me.
It'd be done.
It's like, what's that girl sporting? More than a D cup? I'm done. We're just hanging out, and I'm eating dudes who've been turned into pigs. I don't fucking care. It's like, do you want another pork rib, baby? How about I help you have another orgasm? Just gonna chill out here. Hey, I got an amazing idea. I'm gonna go to that other island I was just at. Bring some of them lotuses over. It'd be amazing, trust me. We'll eat some lotus, eat some pigs that used to be dudes. We'll have sex. We're good. All I'm saying is they were on that island for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's with an iron will. They're like, after 2 years, they're like, I should probably stop fucking this hot sorceress that keeps turning dudes into pigs and then eats them. Like, that's probably bad, right? I mean, but hey, guys, look at her. Come on. Don't tell me you wouldn't. We're not saying that, Ulysses. We're not saying that. Just,
Such strong faith they have in their captain to like give a shit after that. I mean, really.
I know, right?
Like, really, that's commendable at that point. But actually, another fun fact.
Yeah, and that's even before the whole siren thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Good God, it's like,
okay,
I want to be
in Charybdis.
I know. Like, hey, I got an idea, guys. We're gonna go buy these sirens. I really want to hear them. Why don't you just tie me to the mast?
Tie me to a mast.
It's just one of like that part. I believe they're all like, oh, okay. Well, we're with you so far.
Now plug your ears with beeswax.
Plug your ears with beeswax. It's like, all right, so that we don't hear the sirens. Okay, yeah, whatever, boss. We give a shit. And he's like fucking freaking out there. Oh my God, you gotta turn around. I have to get close to the sound. Fucking like, they're just like, no, this guy's fucking Ulysses is a dick. I ain't doing shit. We're just rowing right the fuck ahead. Hey, what's that giant typhoon and those giant crushing rocks over there? I don't know. Think we should. Why don't we send a little boat in first? Oh well, they're dead. We pass those sirens. What the fuck's going on?
It's like what's that? A cave rock formation that has a giant fucking like sea serpent in it that'll eat us. And if we don't go near that, there's a giant fucking whirlpool tooth anus in the middle of the goddamn ocean.
I actually was always kind of curious as to whether that was actually supposed to be like a mythological description of the Rock of Gibraltar, of the Gibraltar Strait.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, because it is kind of tight.
That actually makes a little too much sense now.
It's a couple 1,000-year-old story. Who knows?
Actually, also fun fact: did you know that William Shakespeare is probably not as credited as he should be as writing the first Yo Mama joke in English?
Yes. I have had thy mother.
Yes, yes. Villain, villain, thou hast undone our mother. Villain, I have done thy mother. There's a lot, that kind of like, okay, how like way at the beginning of this, you were like fuck you if you don't believe me. Quentin Tarantino will be like the Shakespeare of the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's shit like that makes me believe that statement, because if you if you can get past Elizabethan English, if you can get a handle on it, and you read Shakespeare, it's like there's a lot of dirty jokes in this.
Oh yeah.
This is really
especially the comedies.
Like yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, how to put it. Was Shakespeare a brilliant writer and a master of the English language? Yes. Was he also a giant, crude asshole who liked to make dirty jokes? Yes.
Actually, my favorite Shakespeare play is, and will probably always remain, The Tempest.
Oh my God, The Tempest.
Yeah, The Tempest. Or, as I like to put it, everyone makes the right decision and goes home.
Yeah, kinda.
Everyone does the right thing and goes home.
I like Much Ado About Nothing. That's probably my favorite one.
Much Ado About Nothing is pretty good, but for some reason, something about a sorcerer in the middle of a fucking whirlpool on an island.
It's pretty legit.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. Creates. Yeah, he's just kind of and the thing is, he's not evil. He's just kind of grumpy.
Yeah.
No, he's just kind of sick of this bullshit, really.
Yeah, and then but what does it really take? What it really takes his daughter going like, but Daddy, I really want this guy to bone me. Why don't you want me to be happy? He's like, all right, Miranda. Yeah,
all right, fine.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Daddy's being a prick. Tell you what, I'll let the slave go. I'll release the spirit, and we'll go back to Milan or Venice or wherever it was.
It's like,
And you can.
I'll have to close my books and break my wand, and like no magic will ever happen again because you know they'll fucking kill us. But fine,
But
fine,
you know
I'll do
what?
that for
Fine.
you.
I'll do that for you because you want some serious deep dicking. Okay, I get it. And then he does. He does. He gives it all up. Everyone's like, "Oh, thank you for giving everything up, fucking Prospero. You the bomb." It's like, what are you gonna
Like-
do? It's like, I'm thinking about chilling in my fat palatial what is
Estate?
it? My fat palatial estate that I still technically own. And my daughter Miranda will be fucking this dude. Hey, maybe I'll find someone to fucking bone while I'm out here, living out the last like decade of my life, fucking smoking on a pipe, telling everybody to fuck off. Cause I'm Prospero, bitch. Fuck you. I'm like, there was something.
I was a sorcerer. I was a sorcerer who controlled an island.
Oh yeah, that's a sorcerer who controlled an island, summoned a tempest, like, ruled over the air spirits. Had a weird homunculus fucking monster slave dude. Like, come on. Not even two idiots could fucking fuck up his plans.
And then several hundred
two
years from now,
Shakespearean idiots didn't fuck up his plans.
I know, right? And Shakespearean idiots are really fucking.
Oh
idiots.
man, no, them dead. Them motherfuckers is deadly.
They will
jack your shit up. They will get you to fucking stab your fucking wife.
Yeah, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Thank fucking God.
Thank fucking God. Yeah. What about those assholes in Much Ado About Nothing? Oh my God, that poor girl.
I know, so sad.
Poor girl. Like, they fucking traumatized that poor gal. Like, and what is she burying that dick fuck for? Like, the minute he fucking like calls her out on the altar, I'm like, oh no,
Yeah,
you're done. You fucking
some
done.
fucked up shit.
Yeah. I don't care if she forgives you. You are now officially not good enough.
Yeah.
But then, and then on top of that, Prospero's also like, and then on top of this, several hundred years from now, some asshole will make a moving picture about this, but set it in space and call it Forbidden Planet. What the fuck is a moving picture?
I know.
Don't worry about it. Y'all don't know yet.
Wait, I die in that one? What the fuck is this?
They'll be like, Prospero, what the fuck are you doing? I still got some magic. I'm seeing the future. Don't worry about it. Fuck off.
Look, Robbie the Robot's gonna be awesome. It's to be fine.
Truth.
The only problem that I have with that is the fact that the Prospero of that movie dies, and I'm sitting there like, that ain't Shakespeare's way. That ain't the way that happened. People are like, well, the Shakespeare one is boring. I'm like, you shut your fucking mouth.
The Shakespeare one is amazing.
Yeah. But it is kind of, everyone makes the right decision and goes home. That's one of those, oh my God, I've seen the face of the devil. No, Dad, don't do it. You know what? You're right. Let's not do that. That seems like a bad idea.
That's a bad idea. I won't do that.
Yeah. Why are we doing this? It seems sick.
Let's just go home.
Let's just go home, everybody.
And then, of course, there's all the comedies that revolve around John Falstaff, who is a great character. I fucking love John Falstaff. He's my favorite fat shit. He's my favorite fat asshole ever.
He shows up in a bunch of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he was a crowd favorite. Like whenever, apparently whenever, fucking, the people around, Stratford, heard that, oh, Master Shakespeare is doing another play with the fool John Falstaff, everyone went, holy fuck yeah, we fucking love John Falstaff.
Holy crap! Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no, he was super favorited. That's why the one.
So that's why he shows up in not only fucking Henry VIII, but Henry V.
He also shows up
right?
I think so, yeah. And then he shows up in Merry Wives of Windsor.
Yeah, Merry Wives of Windsor.
He shows up in a few of them, which is why there's that one. There's that one tragedy play. I forget what it is, but there's that one tragedy play where Falstaff actually dies at the end, and people were fucking torn up about that.
I think that was Henry V, actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There. Yeah. No, but he was in a couple ones besides that, and so when that one actually happened, people went, "Oh no, John!" People fucking love John Falstaff, man.
Oh man, yeah, he's the big fat guy. You know, I'm now. To be fair, the only reason I even know that he's in that play is because of My Own Private Idaho.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You know, because like I'm watching that thing and I'm like, wait, this is Henry V.
If
This is
wait,
Henry V.
Bob is John Falstaff.
Yeah, exactly, he is.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I saw that and I was like, this is Henry V. If Henry V was fucking a dude the entire time, and it was set in 1990 in America. And for some reason, Udo Kier was here.
As you do.
As you do. And that was actually the first movie I ever saw with Udo Kier in it. My Own Private Idaho.
Really? The first Udo Kier film, I think the first one with Udo Kier I ever saw was Warhol's Dracula.
Yeah, I actually saw...
Blood for Dracula, yeah.
Blood for Dracula, yeah. I actually saw My Own Private Idaho first. And then the second thing I saw him in was, oh fuck. It wasn't Blood for Dracula. All right, but the third one I saw him in was Johnny Mnemonic.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies that I point out, that I love to point out to people because I get into arguments with people all the time about like science fiction and transsexuals and what the first legitimate depiction of transsexuality actually was, even if it wasn't super accurate, but was way more accurate than everything that had come before it. It wasn't Johnny Mnemonic specifically, but it was the cyberpunk genre, because the idea is like, well, if you put your brain in the fucking body of if you put your brain in a robot body, what could you put? What is it to just change your physical, biological gender at that point? What is identity at this point? You know, that one of the big things Cyberpunk is all about. Like, what is identity? Are you the avatar that goes through virtual reality? Are you the brain that sits in the body? Are you the body? Are you the gender? Are you the political identity? Are you any of those things? Or are you just a fucking hard luck, fucking hard drug using motherfucker trying to just fucking make his way in a crazy world gone wrong?
The answer to all questions, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It was one of the things I loved about the genre, which was they get to these high-minded, high lofty like heights, and then like they would bring you back to harsh fucking reality. You know, the harsh reality. It's like, oh my god, we're up here in a space station. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking head now. Wait. Yep. But I'm the dude in the space station who has achieved ultimate power. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't fucking care. Bullet kills you just like kills everybody else.
Your pretense does not save you.
Bam. Yeah, your pretense doesn't fucking matter when you got like cold hard reality staring you in the face.
God, wait, no, that's why pretentious people hate fucking cyberpunk.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons they do, because it basically says that all pretense is just all pretentiousness is just pretentiousness. What the fuck are you talking about? You know. Oh, we should. While I want more and more excuse to just see that, Lyra.
Huh?
Sorry, you stretched out for a minute, and I was like, why? I want nothing but more and more excuses to just look at that all the time. We have been going for about 8 hours, and
yeah, it's like 5 in the a.m.
It's 2 in the a.m. over here.
Yeah,
you guys are like in the 5, but I want to thank you guys for coming on. Lyra, I hope
Kyra, but close.
With Kyra. Oh, Jesus. I called you Lyra. Jeez, what the hell was that?
Golden Compass?
That was
Actually, I think you're right. I think it was a Golden Compass.
I'll take it.
Oh my god.
Quickly to the polar bears!
You know, I know they have helmets and everything. It's like werewolves in top hats. There's just just put full plate armor on a bear. It's just cooler.
Like,
You know.
You never knew how bad
Yeah.
you needed it until you fucking saw it.
I know. Like, the minute you see it, you're like, okay.
And Sam Elliott as an aeronaut. Yeah.
Oh.
Dig it.
So I hope that we did not talk over you too terribly much.
We tend to do that.
Yeah. It. One of the things about being male is you don't always. You fight for the attention so hard you don't always fucking notice when you've got it. So all of a sudden you realize, wait, someone's been quiet for a while. Oh shit.
I was gonna also say, like, it just goes with the territory of being like magicians. We just like get into prattle fets, like.
Oh my god, yeah.
We do.
I've
We've talked for hours about nothing.
when can one really truly consider themselves to be a practicing magician? I was like, when you fucking punched someone out over a piece of Enochian porn, then you can say you're a magician, like, absolutely. People are like, but why? And I'm like, look, I don't know what to say. My world is weird because I don't understand asexuality. I understand that it exists, but it
Truth.
is, yeah. But I
don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't, because to me it's like, what's being a ritual magician all about? Oh, it's about loving knowledge so much you wish it was a woman you could have sex with, or a dude, if that's your predilection.
Yeah. Sapiosexual.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's not. Look, my problem with the whole sapiosexual thing is I know I'm not, because for me, sometimes cute and stupid is enough.
You and a lot of other people.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's just kind of nice. It sometimes is just kind of nice to have someone go like, oh, I don't know, you make the decision. Be like, oh, okay, I guess I will then. That's nice. I don't have to have a long discussion over dinner options. We could just go get Chinese.
Is that slang?
No. That's a literal fucking. That's a literal example from my life.
Jack really likes Chinese food.
Well, I do like Chinese food, but like I don't know how to put it, but there was definitely a period in my life where every fucking date was super highly negotiated, to the point where when the person I was with was like, oh, whatever you want to do, I sat there and was like, it's a trick. It's a fucking trick. I don't know what this means. What do you mean what I want to do? It's like, well, would you want to, whatever. I don't care. I'm spending time with you. And I'm like, if we go to a restaurant and I pick the food and there's food there, will you eat it? Or will you pick at it and look at me judgingly? It's like, no, I would probably eat it.
Because it's food.
Because it's food, and I'm a little hungry. I don't understand.
No, it doesn't always have to be complicated.
Oh my god. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's something, and that's a beautiful thing. Because it's one of the people are like, oh my god, I used to be like super snobby about, well, okay, I used to be super snobby. What am I talking about? But I used to have this thing where I fucking would just talk no end of shit about simpler girls. Simpler girls is the wrong way of putting about it. Bimbos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this one girl I was dating said something. She was annoyed with me because I had just done it again. And I didn't consider her a bimbo. Maybe that was a problem, you know. But at the time, I was, 17? I didn't know better. But she turned around and she said this. And she said, you know, bimbos have hearts too, right? That was lightning hitting my fucking skull. Because I was like, wait a minute.
They do.
They do. They do. Oh, what am I doing? What am I saying? Oh, geez, I'm an asshole. Well, look, I know it didn't cut down on my dating options any because those girls already weren't looking at me. But that's no reason to be a dick about it. And like those words, it's so weird because like those words really got to me. That really got to me, and I would just sit there and I would just contemplate that, you know, like an idiot. But it eventually became important to me because I was like, you know, you're right. Just because they would make a bad match for me doesn't mean that, you know, I have the right to just be a dick about it. You know, but it seems the world wants you to be judgmental.
That's an important piece of personal growth.
It is. Yeah. You know, despite the fact that it also, I do not think, did my dating life. Actually, it did do my dating life a lot of favors. Now I think about it, it just, yeah, it did. Actually, it did because the quality of the women that I had been romantically entangled with really did only improve. You know.
Yeah, you just kind of, I don't know. For me, it's just I learned to be like, it's not my kink, but you know.
Fair enough. Oh man! All right, everyone's yawning. And I want to thank Kyra. Thank you again. You know, I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully you'll want to do this again at some point. Yogi, always a pleasure.
It's nice to meet you, Yogi.
Aw, you hush. It's never nice to meet me. You hush.
It's always nice.
And it is now going to be the time when I log off after having a very successful stream, and then 5 minutes later I'm gonna go, everyone hates me.
Oh no, Jack, we love you.
Do I have to prepare like cute like kitty gifts and shit to like text you in about 5 minutes just to make you feel better?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it will happen without fail. It's why I share that cartoon of that girl like, oh, I'll see you, bye, I had a great time. Last panel, they fucking hate me. You know, I'm like, yeah, like, blah. All right. I wanted to. Actually, one last thing. Kyra, I know that you were talking to Brooke while she was getting on and I was doing whatever. Did she breach the topic of her abuse with you?
No, she didn't.
Okay. Well, I know that was something she kind of wanted to talk to somebody who was a little bit more knowledgeable than she was, and I'm definitely doing the whole like, well, there's only so far I can help you down that road because I'm male. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know. So I do know that that's one of the reasons she really wanted to be on is because you were going to be here.
Okay. Well, I'd love to be on anytime you want me, Jack.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we'll probably do this again sometime very soon.
Okay.
And for all of you at home, remember, hey, Satan and I love you all very much. And you've got to listen to that demon that lives in your heart that tells you to say fuck you to the people you hate.
Damn right.
Until then,
Satan loves you. My boobs love you. Have
Her
a great
boobs,
night.
they love everyone.
Satan's got competition at this point. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Disco Inferno. Fucking, oh God. Ave Satanas. Oh, Jesus Christ. I am that tired. I forgot Ave Satanas. And, I'll check y'all later. Take care.
Good night, everybody.